Tonight on Game Night, Nikki, Lincoln, and special guest Travis and I will be playing One Night Ultimate Werewolf, a game for 3 to 10 players by Ted Alspach and Akihisa Okui, and it is from Bézier Games, so let's get to it.
All right.
Hey, Dave, will you teach us One Night Ultimate Werewolf?
Sure, Lincoln. So One Night Ultimate Werewolf is, as it says, it's a shorter version of Werewolf for 3 to 7 players?
No, 10 or something
10?
like that.
Something like
Says
that. I
around
can't
the box,
remember.
3 to 10.
There you go.
Yeah.
And all the games will include 2 werewolves and a villager, or maybe like the seer, the troublemaker, and the robber. I think with a 3-player game, you put those 4, those four roles.
Okay, I see.
5
Tiles.
right. And no, I'm sorry, and a villager. That's what you play for a 3-player game because you want 3 more tiles than there are players. So for the purposes of our 4-player game, we'll be adding 1 more villager.
Okay.
All right. The roles are like those in Werewolf. Anyone who's played Werewolf will be familiar with most of these roles. But I will go over them all, especially the troublemaker and the robber, because those are sort of special for this. But we're going to turn these basically face down, and we're going to shuffle them up. We'll all take one, secret roll. The other 3 will go face down in the middle. We will all then take our roll, whatever it is, and we're going to put it sort of in front of us on this mat. Okay? Then the rules cover one player essentially announces the rolls in a certain order. Those rolls happen at night. Basically, there's one night, there's one day, and then the game is over.
Okay.
Each roll has for it little tokens that you can use to sort of keep track of the voting and not the voting, but just the deduction that we may or may not be doing the next day. Additionally, these tokens have little numbers on them. That is to help the announcer know the order of how things happen, which is kind of cool. So the werewolves have 2s on them, and in this case, that's the lowest number on the tokens. So if one of us were being the announcer, you would announce the werewolves first, then the seer is 5, the robber is 6, troublemaker is 7. We won't be doing that because there is also a free app that this game comes with, and we'll be using that app. It's actually very cool because in addition to announcing the stuff for you, it's very simple about you're just choosing which of the roles are in the game, so it knows which are in and which aren't. There's 2 timers on the app. One is an overall game timer, which defaults to 10 minutes, but I've set it to 7. I suspect we'll be done before then. But there's also a timer on how long it takes between announcing roles. Because we haven't played before, I set it for 10 seconds. I have a feeling that's going to be long, but we'll see. It defaults to 5 seconds.
Okay.
But I just didn't want to not have time, right? Because you don't want someone trying to beat the timer at night and you can hear it happening and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I know who Travis is. So the way this is going to work is we're all going to look at our rules, then we're going to put them, when we're done with that, this is going to look, say, like this, right? And then the roles get announced. So when the werewolves get announced, there are 2 werewolves in the game, although they both might be here. But the werewolves wake up in the middle of the night and open their eyes and basically recognize each other if there's more than one. Okay? In this case we didn't. So the seer is just like in regular werewolf. The seer has one of 2 choices. The seer can either look at someone else's roll, or the seer can look at 2 from the middle.
Okay.
All right? So someone else...
And they just flip it over.
They look at it, and then they put it back.
Okay.
So they go, I don't want that. Or if I'm the seer and I want to look at you, I'm going to go, okay, let's see who Travis is, and then I put it back.
Okay.
And trying to do it quietly. That's the other thing the app is, I think, potentially nice for, is it's going to play like atmospheric sound effects to cover the fact that people might make... Yeah.
So I should do this.
Yeah.
The robber is next, and what the robber does is the robber, let's say you were the robber, and you knew that. So the robber will choose one other player and switch roles with them. So if you're the robber and you wanted to take my role in the middle of the night, you would give me the robber, you would take my role and look at it. This is now you.
Right.
That's the robber. The troublemaker basically switches 2 rolls, but without looking at them. So if I were the troublemaker, I could go boom, but I don't know what you guys are. I just know that I've switched you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are the only rolls we have. There's plenty of other rolls that we're not using for the purposes of this game, and we could shuffle them in. Although it seems like you would always want. Well, we'll discuss that afterwards. But there's certain rolls that you may always want, but I don't know.
So we're
this is
doing
the
like
default.
the suggested vanilla version
No, I think
right
you
now.
picked
No, I mean,
okay.
no. The game says with 3 use these rolls, with 4 add this, with 5 etc. I think
Before mixing it up.
Right. For example, I'm getting ahead of ourselves, but the doppelganger is someone who mimics someone else's role. Obviously, if we have the doppelganger instead of one of these roles, that's one fewer role that can be mimicked, right?
Right.
I mean, the doppelganger mimicking, say, another villager would be boring.
Sure. Okay.
Additionally, the masons usually come in pairs, right? So if we had, you wouldn't want to put one of those in because there'd be no other mason for you to know about. The masons are 2 characters they're villagers that know who each other are.
Okay.
This is Ultimate Werewolf.
Right.
They are
I have not played Werewolf. So.
crazy rolls.
At all?
Ever?
I
never played Werewolf?
I played Mafia.
Okay.
All right.
You played.
Wow. Okay, so once this happens, then we all wake up, and then during the day, we just pick somebody to kill. So we're going to discuss who we think werewolves are. Fine. When it comes time to voting, and the voting can just sort of happen when everyone's ready to do it, or if the timer runs out, it's just like 1, 2, 3, vote. And the vote is just point to someone.
Okay.
And whoever has the most fingers pointed at them dies.
Okay.
If there is a tie for most fingers, both die.
Okay.
All right?
So there's actually elimination in this?
Once.
This one night.
Once. That's
One
the end
night.
of the game.
Yeah.
One night, yeah.
And then how do we win?
It works like this. If after people are killed, any werewolf has been killed, then the villagers win.
Oh, okay.
All right? If there are 2 werewolves but only one's killed, the villagers win. So in order for the werewolves to win, they have to not die.
Okay.
Okay? So if at the end of the night there were no werewolves were killed, then the werewolves win.
Okay.
All right? There is a chance, of course, that both werewolves will be here,
Right.
in which case I guess we all win. I can't remember what it said.
Now, what happens if the troublemaker swaps R2? Do we get another chance at the end
No,
of the...
you don't know who you are anymore.
Okay.
So you could be a werewolf
And
in
not
your
know it.
mind, but not really be a werewolf.
Right, okay.
And you could lose the game because of that.
Right.
Wait,
there-
so I'm sorry, the robber and the troublemaker swap roles?
The robber swaps roles and sees... The robber becomes a new role and sees what it is.
Okay.
The troublemaker just swaps 2 roles, but doesn't know necessarily what they've done.
But if they swap themselves with
Okay.
somebody else?
But if you
Yes.
lost yourself to the robber, you wouldn't know it.
Yes, but you won't know who you are. Wait, let me look that up. I don't know. Swaps 2 roles. I think it'd be any 2 roles, right? No, 2 other players.
Oh, okay.
Because you're a troublemaker.
Without looking, yeah, can't be yours. That makes sense because otherwise it's too crazy powerful. Right?
Plus, you're a troublemaker. You're not. You're
You
still a
wouldn't want to give
troublemaker. when
that
it's-
up.
No, but you would know who someone. If I swap Travis and Nikki, for example, I don't know what I've done necessarily.
Right.
If I swap me and Nikki, I do know
you're
what
a
I've done.
troublemaker, yeah.
There is a chance that the vote is completely tied. Like if we voted, say, in a circle.
Right. It's a
In
Mexican
in
standard.
that case, no one dies.
Okay.
And if that happens, and the werewolves are in the middle of the board, then the villagers win. Otherwise, the werewolves win. As I understand it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's all. There's too many of those.
Contingencies.
Oh, I was tracking good there.
I know.
too.
I know.
Really?
Were you?
It's like
No,
Tapper.
I wasn't.
All right. Everybody take one.
I don't.
All right. All right. Look at it. Put it back.
Now what do we do?
And now we all close our eyes and we don't wake up until.
Everyone,
Nope.
close your eyes.
Okay.
Werewolves, wake up and look for other werewolves. Werewolves, close your eyes. Seer, wake up. You may look at another player's card, or 2 of the center cards. Seer, close your eyes. Robber, wake up. You may exchange your card with another player's card, and then view your new card. Robber, close your eyes. Troublemaker, wake up. You may exchange cards between 2 other players. Troublemaker, close your eyes. Everyone, wake up.
Wake up.
There you go.
The crickets or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to mask the sound of the
Probably
stuff.
gonna blast the sound on it.
I didn't get May in the rules when I read, so I guess technically the robber or the troublemaker didn't have to do their thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sounds like you maybe don't want to.
All right. Well, here we go. So,
What are we doing?
well, assuming that I still have my original card, I am a villager. So if someone traded with me, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Are you sensing that?
No, I have no idea. Of course not. I have no idea what happened.
Well,
Yes?
I'm a villager.
You're the other villager, or did you swap with me?
I don't know. I'm a villager.
Well, they're all villagers except for 2, right?
What I'm saying, my card was not
roll.
a special card. It wasn't a special roll. It was just a villager. But the thing is, of course, I don't know that that's what it is anymore.
Right.
Well, you have to go with. I mean, you can't.
Can't what?
Of course, you don't know what it,
Right,
what it
but
necessarily is. What else does he have to go with then?
Right.
What he thought
Right.
before he went to sleep.
Exactly. You have to guess. I mean, it's interesting that we have to glean something from this tiny amount of. You claim you're a villager. I'm claiming you're a villager. What's the story with these
I'm not
two?
claiming. I'm telling you that before we closed our eyes, I was a villager.
Can he be any more shifty than that?
Dave?
Seriously.
It doesn't matter. Here's the deal. Let's assume for the sake of argument.
Okay.
Let's assume for the sake of argument. It's not true. Let's assume I was a werewolf.
Yeah.
Even if that's true, I might not be the werewolf anymore.
Yeah.
Right, but
There's a good chance. There's 2 possible roles that have stopped me from being a werewolf.
well, the werewolf's not going to say this is a werewolf, right?
You almost might have, you might be able to get away with it in this game because
Yeah, that's
there's
what I'm
a
trying to
good
figure out.
chance this is not even the original card.
Card you started with, right?
For example, was someone the seer? I mean,
I was not the seer.
this is
I was a roll.
okay. But if
I think
someone
you
was
were
the
the
seer,
robber.
did they look at someone or did they look at 2 cards in the middle? Because here's the deal: unlike real werewolf, the seer doesn't have to hide who they are because there's no
Right.
there's no day
one's,
2.
Right. There's no one's going to
Yeah.
plug them.
That's true.
He guessed that I'm the robber.
I think you're the robber.
He's the troublemaker.
I was the troublemaker.
You were the troublemaker.
Yeah.
Which 2 did you switch?
I swapped you 2.
You swapped me and Lincoln.
Oh yeah. So now if you were a villager,
Hold on. And you were the robber? So if Lincoln was the robber, then he took someone's card, which, by
Right.
the way, it could have been yours.
It's very true. Yeah. Right.
So that means if there's
which brings up a question.
that means if I believe you guys,
Right.
and I'm going to choose to,
Yeah.
that means the only possible werewolf is Nikki.
That's
Right.
what sadly, that's
Yeah.
exactly the conclusion
That's
I've come
true.
to.
All right, I'm willing to vote for her right now.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
No.
All right, ready?
Ew. I'm not.
No.
No.
If
Based on the amount of information,
these guys are lying,
unless the werewolves are here.
All right,
he's
look.
Right.
He
Right.
is leading.
Yeah,
you're
well,
saying you're the troublemaker,
Yeah. Or it was.
and you were saying you were the robber.
yeah.
Okay, so you. Well, wait, did you steal from me?
Am I supposed to tell you?
Well, you can lie, of course, but I mean, I'm asking you.
Well, since I believe, sadly, that it's Nikki, yes, I switch with you.
You're not.
So he's still the troublemaker.
Because if you switch with
I'm the
Nikki,
robber,
that's an
and you're the
important
robber.
thing. That's an important thing.
So then you guys.
No.
You
did that.
Probably
Then
more
you
like
flipped
that.
it back.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So there's either 2
It's either
werewolves
2
here,
or she's
or
one.
you're a
Right.
werewolf.
Yeah.
What do you guys
Right.
say for
Well,
Here's the deal.
I am the
You can win in the
seer,
next
and
game.
I did not see any werewolves. where I looked.
You're
So you're the
seer.
seer?
Yeah. And I didn't.
I don't believe her.
And where I didn't.
Well, if we off
get
one
anything
villager, we're
useful.
okay, right?
No, I don't believe you. No, I don't believe you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
It just,
interesting.
I was
Well,
fine.
my
I was ready to vote for Nikki. And
No,
now
but
I'm just
that's what I'm
shifting.
saying. Like how do the rules work? Where if we don't kill, if she's a werewolf and we don't kill her,
Yeah, the werewolves are here, we win.
if the werewolves are here, we win, right?
I think so, yeah.
Even if we
Because
kill
there's
her and
werewolf
she's a
to kill.
villager.
Well, put it this way: the werewolves can't win because there are no werewolves.
Right.
No, I don't.
No.
That'd be
No,
right. In which case,
the
killing
one thing is
me
right.
and killing her is not a big deal. If the
Village
werewolf
wins if
yeah.
at least one werewolf dies, or if no one is a werewolf and no one dies.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
If no one is a werewolf
That's what I was
and no one
asking.
dies,
Right.
it is possible
Covered it.
for no one to be a werewolf if all the cards are in the center.
Right.
But it says and no one dies.
Right. So we
we have
if
to do the
she's
tie vote thing.
So
no. So the
we
thing is,
can't-
if
we
she's a
can't
werewolf, if
kill-
she's not a werewolf, we can't just kill her willy nilly.
We have to kill someone
lose.
though. The only way no one can die is
No.
if it's a four-way tie. We have to
Oh,
decide
so then
in advance
and
that
then
we're
it's gonna
trying
be
to set up a four-way tie.
Right.
If we're interpreting that correctly.
Right.
We have to kill somebody?
So the question is Nikki a werewolf?
I'm.
At this point, I think it's either Nikki or you.
Well, it's not me.
Can I put this
Nope.
other thing?
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's. I'm claiming.
Who'd you look at? I'm voting for Nikki. I'm voting for Nikki.
Yeah.
No.
The story just got shut down.
No.
Who'd you look
No.
at?
No.
Who'd you look at?
No.
Do you want to save yourself? All right, ready? 3,
1, 2,
2,
3.
1.
All right. Yeah! That's it. So, troublemaker, villager.
I love that you just swapped them back.
All you had to do is save someone because I was starting to
And did you
believe
feel-
you.
that's-
I was
did you feel the
totally
same
starting
thing
to
for
believe-
me?
I was
I
starting to
know.
get
I had no
suspicious
idea,
of
but what you
Travis.
said,
As
I don't
soon
remember
as I
exactly what
went,
you said. But you go, I think
I
you're the
choked.
robber. Something you said.
I said you were
he's
the
the
robber.
troublemaker.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
he's the
yeah,
troublemaker.
I choked. If I just said. I looked at Travis.
Yeah.
You did look at Travis's?
No.
Oh.
Because I
No,
was a
'cause he's a
werewolf.
werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had all the information you needed. You could have just pulled out a claim.
I know. I could have just pulled something out.
Oh, if you had, I was so ready to
Oh,
believe
that
you.
would have been beautiful.
I was so ready to believe you.
Yeah.
That would
if
have
you-
been even better.
You should have just claimed that you were the villager and
That
looked at Dave.
sucked. I had it in my hand and I. The win.
All right, let's play again. But I'm going to set it to 5 seconds this time instead of 10.
Yeah.
It's something. It's funny though, because when Nikki said, when I looked.
We had 3 minutes left of the 7 I gave us.
Yeah.
Well, no, if you had a lot of players.
Yeah, if you had 10 players.
Of course, you're gonna need it. But the thing was, Nikki said something about when I looked, and I'm thinking,
Oh, you
what?
can do it by
Well,
thing.
she was switching to saying that she was a seer, but I'm like,
I'll give us 6 seconds.
I saw no other. You said when I looked, I saw no werewolves.
Right.
Well, the first thing that went to my head is she was a werewolf. She looked, and there were no other werewolves.
Oh, because I said no other
Oh,
werewolf?
Yeah, well, I saw no werewolves. That's
Yeah.
basically, I think, what you said.
Oh, okay.
But
Wait.
I mean, the second you said that, I'm like, oh, she's the werewolf. I mean, there's nothing you could do about that, you know?
No, I mean, once you're pegged, in any werewolf game, once you're kind of pegged,
Yeah.
you're really...
Well, Dave was looking for.
I was ready.
Is ready to believe anybody.
I was starting.
I almost heard
Well, the
him.
funny thing was, Dave was a villager.
I was.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
a normal dorky villager.
Everyone, close your eyes. Werewolves, wake up and look for other werewolves. Werewolves, close your eyes. Seer, wake up. You may look at another player's card, or 2 of the center cards. Seer, close your eyes. Robber, wake up. You may exchange your card with another player's card, and then view your new card. Robber, close your eyes. Troublemaker, wake up. You may exchange cards between 2 other players. Troublemaker, close your eyes. Everyone, wake up.
All right.
Yay. What?
I was going to start with you.
Yeah?
I'm saying, start us off
Start us off.
since you got killed last game.
Okay. I'm the seer.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah?
Again?
Yeah, again.
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 And did you look at someone or did you look at 2 cards?
I looked at somebody
Okay.
and they're safe.
Who?
And that
Okay.
person would be you.
I'm safe?
Yeah?
Interesting.
Okay.
It could be a werewolf ploy.
Yeah, but that was before both the robber and the troublemaker.
I know.
So,
If they're in the game.
If they're in the game.
But I'm the robber.
Yeah,
Again.
I heard the robber moving around. I heard something happening.
really over those
Oh.
crickets?
So, well, and that's sad because I tried very hard to do it differently, with a different arm.
Yeah.
So I switched with Nikki. So at least if there is no troublemaker,
Was she the seer?
she was the seer.
Yeah.
And
That
if
was
you're,
you.
safe, then it's
Because
you.
I'm you. I'm Vanilla Villager from last round. I'm you from last round.
So both vanilla villagers are in the game?
No.
That seems
He's a werewolf.
I like it.
Very, very
So,
accusatory.
well,
I like
I'm already feeling comfortable here, and Nikki checked there now. If there's a
interesting.
troublemaker, things have been screwed up.
Well, if you
But
kill me, you guys are
there
going to lose.
But here's the thing.
What
Here's the
else
thing.
can
We have
do?
2 choices.
Yeah.
We can kill you,
Right.
or we can hope that both werewolves are here and do the little tie
Well,
vote
if
thing.
you guys are, if what you guys are saying is true, then that's the way it has to be.
It's hard for me not to believe her because he backed him. So there's a possibility they could both be werewolves,
Right.
And it could be a genius ploy.
Okay,
But
well,
these guys
let's-
have not played this game
let's
enough
deduce
to
it.
pull that off, in my opinion. Although that would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. But here's the deal. She has to, if she's a werewolf, she has to say she's the seer. He has to say he's the robber, and one of us has, and they have to make sure that neither of us are those parts.
Right.
Because otherwise we would call them on that instantly.
Now, of course, if you were,
Yeah.
no,
You can talk all you want. We're going to kill you in about a minute.
That's it. What I was gonna say is if she was a seer and she got switched out,
Right?
well, if she was the werewolf and you
It
guys were
wouldn't matter.
conspiring,
If I got switched, I'd just be something else normal.
right? But,
Yeah, but no, but I'm the first
if
one
you
to
were a
switch.
werewolf and he was the robber and you got swapped,
If you
But I'm the
were
first to
then
swap.
he would
I'm
be
the
a werewolf.
Werewolf. I'm the
was
first to swap.
I think
After the trouble,
it's gonna be like, let's
so
just
listen.
vote to kill
She
me.
absolutely was the seer,
Right?
and now you don't have to believe me.
Right.
We could be both werewolves, but I was absolutely the
No,
robber.
I-
If she checked Dave,
if she
and I
checked
know she
Dave-
was a seer because I was the first to switch. Now the
Right.
troublemaker is not in the mix at this point.
right.
So these 3 initially were safe.
Oh, you just said right.
No, I'm saying the troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, can you tell me what the numbers are between 4 and 0 in that direction?
What?
What are the numbers between
Oh yeah.
4 and
3,
0?
2, 1.
Villager.
Awesome.
So they were
Did
both
really
there.
do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go.
We had to play the odds, though.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, you didn't.
There's,
You have to convince us that it is.
But that's what I was trying to do. But you guys wouldn't let me keep going.
Once you're
Oh, well.
accused
Yeah,
of
once
being
you're
a
paired,
werewolf,
yeah,
you're
that's the thing.
twisting in the
I was trying to
wind.
get the logic back on like trying to figure out if you guys were telling a story
the
about being
werewolves
werewolves.
didn't win, at least.
No, well, you guys lost. The
But-
villagers
So did you.
lost.
So did you.
Oh, I know. I
We all
got
lost.
killed. yeah.
You were going to lose either way. That's the beauty.
Oh,
of it.
yeah, yeah.
If you were a werewolf,
Well,
you're
but-
going to lose, and if you're a villager, you're going to
But
lose.
it
was only us that had the possibility for the win. You had no chance to win.
Of course.
basically.
Of course.
One more time.
I thought I'd have a hard time proving it.
The problem was
You
I
guys
was
were
also a
leaning
normal
in.
villager. So the odds to me of you being the other normal villager and not being a werewolf seem really slim.
Right.
I'm not saying they weren't possible, obviously, because
Well,
that's exactly what happened.
yeah.
But it just seems slim to me.
Well, I don't know what the chances are compared to anything else.
At this point, there's nothing more to do.
Everyone, close your eyes. Werewolves, wake up and look for other werewolves. Werewolves, close your eyes. Seer, wake up. You may look at another player's card, or 2 of the center cards. Seer, close your eyes. Robber, wake up. You may exchange your card with another player's card, and then view your new card. Robber, close your eyes. Troublemaker, wake up. You may exchange cards between 2 other players. Troublemaker, close your eyes. Everyone, wake up.
The sound design on that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
There's
nice.
stuff that sounds like creaking stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty slick.
All right, so since you were killed last time,
I'm a villager again this time.
well, I wasn't the seer. Was someone the seer?
No.
Wow.
I think the robber's still in. But
What about you?
What?
What did you do?
The robber?
She said a werewolf.
And who did you rob with?
I'm the
And who
robber.
did you rob with?
or was the robber?
Travis?
You swapped with Travis?
Don't look at me, I don't know.
But since she knows what she is, she knows what Travis and her are. She, I mean, if she, because you switch, so the robber goes there, then you get to look at what you're doing, which
Right.
is the one thing that gives you a lot of information.
Right.
So she has not. But is there no troublemaker? I'm not the troublemaker.
I was the troublemaker. I
was
switched you
not.
and Nikki.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if she did grab me, then that's
means
now
Lincoln's a
Lincoln is
villager.
now the villager. Right.
Because you guys got swapped.
Well, if she took from me, right. If she took from somebody else, she could have gotten, like, if you were a werewolf, let's say,
If
I'm not a werewolf though.
if she did switch with you,
then she would have been a villager, and I would now have the
'cause
robber.
you were kind of.
Right.
I don't know that I believe you switched.
Right,
with
that's what I'm
Travis.
saying. That's
But
what I'm
does
saying.
Oh, yeah.
she may switch, right? She doesn't have to switch. She could be the robber but not switch. Didn't you say that's?
She could also switch with somebody else and then claim she switched with
Yeah.
one other person, right? She could have been
Oh,
the
yeah, of
robber, or
course.
switched with me, and then or switched to you and said she was with me.
Right.
Right.
Which, if you were a
But then
werewolf,
I'm a villager, so that makes her a villager. But if she switched, then I'm the robber. Then at this point in time again.
right?
Right.
Which makes me a villager. What does that make
no,
you?
but wait a
What are
second.
you?
She
I'm the
switched with
troublemaker.
you.
What? I'm
She
confused.
switched
I
with
switched
you,
two
Mr.
cards.
Werewolf.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, that's what she's
But
saying.
no, but he's the troublemaker.
Right.
Right.
So they're both here again? Come on, that's
Don't
not
look at me.
possible.
I know that I was a villager. The tricky part is whether she swept with me or
somehow
with him.
believe you.
Well, that's good.
I do. I
because you
actually
have to.
somehow believe you.
You have to.
So
That
here's the
he's a
deal.
villager?
If he's a villager and you are the robber,
Yeah.
that means Lincoln is a villager. Right?
Right.
If you were the villager for sure,
Right.
and she was the robber, then Lincoln is the villager.
Correct.
'Cause I swapped
that-
those two.
if what you're saying is true.
Correct.
And then
That means you would be the robber.
Yeah.
I would be the troublemaker.
Right.
And she
you
would be
would
whatever
be-
Lincoln was.
the villager.
Villager. I switched.
Well, he just made that me a villager.
You would
but
be
I was
whatever
a
Lincoln
villager.
was, which means she could be a werewolf.
What
Or
am
a
I
villager,
saying
right?
Or a
Lincoln
villager.
for?
Yeah.
I said I switched with
Yeah,
Travis.
but
I
he
switched you and
I,
Lincoln.
Right.
the troublemaker.
If he,
So
if he's
you're the
troublemaker.
only unknown thing. So either Nikki is
Why
a
am I
werewolf
only an unknown thing.
because you don't have your original card
No.
anymore.
But
If,
I know,
if this is true.
Here,
if that's true, exactly.
put these all back the way they were.
Right. And if you were the robber.
If she was the robber, correct.
Right.
We don't know. See, in this scenario, we don't. Okay, so you're saying you were the
I
other
was that
villager?
Yeah, I wasn't the seer. I didn't get to look at any cards.
Okay. So we do the
I didn't do
tie
anything
vote
this
thing
time.
again?
He's the werewolf.
I didn't do anything this
you,
time.
Dave.
He's
I'm
not
the
the
troublemaker. I swapped the
you're
two
not.
of you.
No. You're
Okay.
a werewolf.
Well, I was gonna say I can only be the werewolf if someone swapped with me, but no one can swap with me, so I can't. I'm the troublemaker.
That's not true. If you started out as a werewolf, and no one swapped with you, you didn't swap with
But
anybody because
I did. I swapped these two.
That's assuming that you're the troublemaker.
That's
and
true.
You were able to
That
switch.
is that is true.
If you were a werewolf, you're lying all the way. You swapped nothing. You're still a werewolf.
Okay. I mean, that's true, but that's not true. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Accurate.
It's accurate.
Right.
It's possible, but
Yes.
it's not true.
Yes.
I mean, the same is true for anyone, right?
No.
If you were not really the robber, see, but I believe you were the robber.
Right. I was. And I switched with Travis.
And became a villager.
Travis is now a robber.
Okay.
And you are.
And I am now a villager because I took Travis's role.
Right? Except
you're
that
just-
Lincoln
Maybe
is
you
now the
should be a
villain.
werewolf.
You're just a vanilla dude.
I'm a villager.
I don't
but now I'm
know,
wondering,
why are you not-
How do we know that you're not now? Because you know if you're the werewolf, right? If you swap, you have no idea what you're getting. You only know what you're getting once you've looked.
But if
And I look- the
Travis was a
robber
werewolf,
can
then
look.
you're a werewolf.
Why is that?
Because I swapped these two.
We're
If she's a
assuming
robber.
you
Exactly. I'm still
You're
dealing with
not
Nikki.
a troublemaker. You are a werewolf.
I'm just saying that at any point the werewolf could just be claiming, I'm this person.
It's true.
I did this. Right? And then it's like,
Well, did you hear a sound when the troublemaker was going, Mister? I can hear the
I
map?
did not, actually. Doesn't mean anything.
Well, since you
my
spoiled every game so far based on your
Did I?
your hearing ability.
Wait.
No, I'm just teasing.
What?
So can I switch this? Because I switched.
You switched with Travis.
I did. So I'm a villager. He's a robber. Lincoln's vanilla.
And we're both villagers then.
That's
And
the picture that's been
You
painted.
This is
are
what
a
it looks
werewolf.
like now.
You're a
Right.
werewolf.
All right? I'm not, because I swapped the two of you.
No. No.
Okay?
You're a werewolf.
It's not true, though. But the problem is this. If this is the thing, then...
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
This is the picture that's been
If
painted.
you kill me, I lose either way.
Uh-huh.
Because we're in this stupid tiebreaker situation again.
I don't believe Nikki's story.
You don't?
You
believe
think
Nikki.
she's
a
lying?
werewolf?
Wow. You've been backing me and now you're switching?
You don't think
I
she's a
haven't
robber?
backing anybody, but I don't think.
But here's the deal. If she switched and he was the werewolf, I mean, she's going to have to lie.
Here's the problem. If you don't believe Nikki, that means Lincoln's a werewolf.
But I'm
No.
not. I didn't do anything.
That
except-
Yes,
mean
because
that.
I swapped
It
these
doesn't-
two.
No.
Oh, right.
it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, that means.
If you
Oh
think
my
she's
God.
not the robber,
Oh my god. No. You're assuming that he's telling you
Right.
his role is
Right.
of course.
Right.
If that's how the game works. You always assuming that.
Stop.
She's the werewolf.
I am
All right, well, hang
not.
on. The seer is clearly here.
One of the werewolves.
Let's assume one of the werewolves is there.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of feel like it's this.
So let's tie it up and see what happens.
No.
Well, she's
was
never
the
going to agree to a
robber.
tie. That's the
Right,
problem.
Which is one of the
So-
reasons that.
That we should kill her instead, just
No,
for the hell
I
of
was
it.
the robber and I switched
At this point, I'm willing to
Travis.
kill her just to do it.
Jesus, no. Come on, guys.
But it wouldn't be her. It'd be him.
Because he's the
Oh, right.
troublemaker.
If what you're saying is true.
Damn, that's right. All right.
Oh, you guys, I'm the villager. Well, I didn't
Well,
look
you
at
were.
anything, yeah.
Shoot.
So, but then you're saying that Travis was a werewolf.
No, because there was no
No.
robber. I'm saying it looked like this.
Oh, you don't think she's a... Oh, that's funny. I believe Nikki on that.
What?
So you're seeing a look at this.
I'm saying that was the picture.
She's not the...
No.
And then these got swapped. If what you're saying is true. But
No, I believe Nikki.
I believe she's a robber. I really do.
okay. Well then
I totally believe she's a
then
robber.
then that's the way it is.
Since, well,
Unless Lincoln is lying and he was a werewolf. In
but
which
in
case
addition,
now Nikki
if
is a
Travis is a werewolf, then that means I'm this.
Well,
right? Potentially.
well, I was not the
But
werewolf.
That's true.
Okay.
If Travis was a werewolf.
But here's
I
the
believe
deal.
Travis.
Yeah, if you started out that way,
I didn't.
okay, but like
It's
I'm
whatever-
just saying if you did, it's now in your interest to say you did because this would be over here of what David's saying is true.
That's true. And he doesn't want to kill Nikki.
Right.
I don't know that I don't. I'm not saying that, but I'm beginning to not trust Travis because he's the one that's making the big case for all this stuff.
I actually believe Travis this game, but I'm not sure why.
Let's vote as it is because it's either gonna. If you think Lincoln was a werewolf,
I don't
It would be not
because
in-
if he wouldn't he be pushing harder to kill Nikki?
I would think so. But I don't know if he understands that. Right.
We played 3 times. I think he gets the game by now.
Okay. All right. Then let's tie it out.
What?
Then there's no werewolf.
All right.
So what do we do? I mean, I don't know how that works.
You
Just vote around.
Vote clockwise.
Dave-
I'll vote for Travis. Travis votes for you. You vote for Nikki.
Lead the
Nikki votes
whole
for me.
Frickin'
It might be. Okay. That's it, right?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. So.
Oh, Lincoln and I were the werewolves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean wrong. I lost. That's awesome. That's awesome.
so
Oh, and I almost killed her, but you wouldn't have let me. Oh, you would have let me kill her.
I wasn't.
Because you didn't know.
That was my. I had no idea. Other
I
than my
actually
first-
So
thought
who started as the robber? You did.
she did,
I was.
but she traded with me.
I traded with Dave.
Right.
That's awesome.
So she knew.
And
That
I
was
turned
awesome.
And it became a werewolf.
Because you thought you were.
See,
a
that's
werewolf.
what I was saying.
Here's
That's
the
what-
deal.
Right.
I came so close to killing you anyway, and Lincoln would have gone along with that. And if we had done that, I would have won. Lincoln would have lost.
That's interesting.
That was genius. That was genius.
I want to try with more people, like
me too.
6
Yeah.
people. I think it needs more people.
Well, yeah, but it's definitely playable with small group. It's fun. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
little bit more cut and dried. Although, is it? We just did this whole discussion.
Right.
But see, that was
you
what
were
made
in
me
a great
think that
position, right? Because if I got killed, you still win.
I win, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you to die so badly.
But here's the beauty of it, right? I thought I was the werewolf the whole time.
I know.
Right.
So I was planning on your being, slightly shifty. Because
God, that was beautiful.
slightly shifty because.
And I
you
thought
knew you
killing
were a
Nikki
werewolf.
would just be the easy default position. And as it turns out, for me, it was. Right?
Right.
It ended up being, you would have gone along with that idea, but it
See,
would have been bad for
I
you.
did believe Nikki was the robber.
I did too.
And so that's why I said,
she
that's
was.
why I think that she's now
was.
a werewolf and that he was, that was what, I mean, but I knew that wasn't
But if
the
you
case.
think
'cause
she's a
I-
werewolf, you don't want to kill her.
But the reality is that you and I knew we were werewolves
Right.
at the beginning. So,
Right.
so at that point, who knows what happened in the night?
Right.
But I believe that she was the robber. And part of me felt she potentially got the werewolf card. But I wasn't certain. I have to side with her, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, if I feel that it's a chance that she became the werewolf, I obviously knew you weren't the troublemaker. Because at first you're like, well, I'm the troublemaker. And I'm
Right.
like, and my brain was like, oh, no, wait a second, I know he's not the troublemaker. We just looked at each other.
Right. I just was
Right.
thinking,
Yeah, I know.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just
like a
pretend to be
different
a role.
And that's why I was like,
and
I'm
mess
just a
things
villager.
up.
Right.
Did you believe I was the troublemaker?
Yeah.
So fully.
That's the thing. It's tricky because it's like you got to think.
This is genius. The half lie is the genius one because she
Right.
was the robber, but she didn't trade with you. That was
Right.
really cool.
Right.
That was really cool. So there's roles that we didn't use. I believe the Masons go in as a pair,
Yeah.
and they just wake up. They're villagers that just know who each other are.
Okay.
So it's one of those roles that you probably want a lot of players in the game.
Right.
Much the same way that the werewolves sort of know who they are, the Masons at least know sort of who they are. The hunter is a villager who, if he gets killed during the vote, whoever the hunter is pointing at also dies. He basically, as he dies, he fires his gun and kills that.
Okay.
Okay? The drunk is so drunk that he has no idea who he is. And so when the drunk wakes up in the middle of the night, he takes his card and swaps it for one in the middle, but doesn't look at it. Okay? The insomniac can't sleep, and she wakes up last, I think, and looks at her card again to see if she's still the insomniac. So she gets to know who she is.
Going in.
She gets to know who she is guaranteed going into the thing. The minion, when the minion wakes up, the werewolves with their eyes closed. The werewolves don't know who the minion is, but the minion gets to know who the werewolves are. The werewolves put their thumbs up, so the minion gets to see who the werewolves are. But the minion goes early before all the swappity swap, and then the doppelganger wakes up first, and the doppelganger looks at someone else's card and assumes that role as well. So if the doppelganger sees a werewolf, then the doppelganger is also a werewolf. If the doppelganger sees a special card, then the doppelganger, if like a villager or any other cards, then the doppelganger is that special card. And if the doppelganger has a special card that has an action, like let's say the doppelganger sees the robber
troublemaker, yeah.
or the troublemaker, the doppelganger then does that action for the doppelganger move.
Gotcha.
So
The troublemaker will still wake up during the troublemaker phase, even though the troublemaker is not the troublemaker anymore,
Right.
and do the troublemaker move.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay.
So this is like total chaos, right? Because you have no idea how that's going to work.
Right.
And then the tanner is just a villager who doesn't wake. The hunter doesn't wake up. The tanner doesn't wake up. The tanner is. I don't know why the tanner is depressed, but the tanner is basically just wants to die. So the tanner only wins the game if the tanner gets killed.
Gotcha.
So when the tanner's in the game, there's a third victory condition, basically, right? The werewolves can win, or the villagers can win, or the tanner can win. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they give you
If the Tanner dies and a werewolf also dies, the villager wins as well.
3 extra villagers. But there's never more than 2 werewolves, which is nice.
Interesting.
So what do you think? You've never played werewolf before. I can tell you this is...
I've seen them
It's
play
not
it.
like werewolf,
yeah.
but it is at the same time.
Yeah, I think that the roles make it a little bit more interesting because, like I said, I'm used to vanilla mafia, which is basically just werewolves and villagers.
Right.
So there's no special stuff. I think there might be a detective in mafia, which is a seer.
Seer, yeah.
Yeah, but the other stuff is interesting. I don't know. The other stuff seems a little extraneous, but also,
Adds to the flavor of the game.
yeah.
You're actually the biggest werewolf player at this table. What did you think?
Oh, okay.
You like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the swapping. I liked having a physical card that is in play
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
versus just you have it at the beginning to know your role and then it's left
Well,
aside.
you don't slide them too.
So
But still, your fingers were sliding on them
it
too.
to me it had a little bit of
And these are gorgeous. They're thick and gorgeous.
a little bit of the masquerade thing going on because of the card swapping.
Oh yeah, it's totally got
Right.
The masquerade.
that. Masquerade's a new one from Fiduti, and Masquerade's another one with these hidden roles, but there's switching going on, so you really don't know. There's a lot of confusion in that, like this, which is fun.
Yeah.
I think the confusion's
Yeah.
actually hilarious.
Yeah.
So in this way, this game, it's a little simpler than the masquerade because
Right.
you're taking cards, you're switching them under the table, and then laying them out, and there's a bank and some other weird
there's money
things
and-
going on.
I
So you-
remember the under the
Judge
table
and-
part. You had, once you said under the table, like
part.
I remember that game
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So you're not even sure if you're moving stuff, and I was getting
Right.
confused shuffling. Like,
Right.
oh shoot, I don't know what I am now, right?
So it adds some crazy to the deduction, but this one, in its purity of the deduction, is
Right.
is good. You know?
Have you played Coup?
Saying?
I like that it's quick.
Yeah.
So it can be played quickly. I like that it's used based on a game most gamers know anyway. So you could break it out, play a game or two real quick, and then move on.
There's another one called Ultimate Werewolf Inquisitor.
You mean Legend
Inquisition.
Dan Hoffman?
Legend Dan Hoffman's. It's done by Ted as well. Ted
Yeah.
did development. It's great too. It's another werewolf.
It's like one level up from this.
Yes, it's closer to true werewolf.
so it's
Yeah.
a little bit longer, a little bit more complex.
But not really.
I think Dan's goal was he was trying to figure out a way to make a board/card game version of Werewolf.
Sure.
That you could play with just 4 or 5 players
Right.
and not have to think. And I think he really succeeded.
Yeah.
We love that game.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I actually came into this with a bias because I had read the rules and I just thought, am I really going to like this, the chaos aspect
Right.
of not knowing who I am?
Right.
But I was very surprised.
Well, the third round, the last game we played was great.
It was. I was
Yeah.
really surprised at how much I ended up not only not minding that, but kind of enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't, like, you ever played Mystery of the Abbey?
Yeah.
See, that drives me crazy, that game, because it's a deduction game where information gets changed in the middle. It's like that. A lot of people like it, and I'm just not one of them. It just drives me crazy.
but that's the thing. It's
I
like
can never
this
get
is
that out to the table.
this is a quick 10-minute.
What one?
Mystery of the Abbey?
Mystery of the
Oh
Abbey.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like a 45-minute to an hour game, right?
But I'm saying the chaos of not knowing stuff
Right.
after you've initially known stuff.
Right.
And this game, I thought, as I said, having not played it but read the rules, I thought had that as its core, and I thought, well, that was going to be a strike against it, in my opinion. But
Sure.
it actually isn't. I actually think it was really neat. And the level of sort of subtlety to which you can play that up to your advantage
Right.
is
right.
really neat.
Yeah.
That was seriously,
You
that
have
was
to
awesome.
warm up. That first game was terrible.
Yeah.
The first game,
I could have won.
the first game was bad. Yeah. The first game wasn't all that great, but the last one when we got
need a
when we
warm-up
got into it.
game.
Being a werewolf sucks in this game.
Well, and this is quick, so you can easily.
Right. And that's the thing. That's the thing that
we
breaks
played
the
3
chaos.
games. We
Right.
played 3 games. In all 3 games, the game timer I'd set not from the default 10
Never
minutes,
went
but
off.
to 7 minutes, and we never got to the end of it.
Yeah.
So we played 3 of these games in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I like it. I think it's neat, and the art's great.
Well, the
It's,
art-
it's
really
light.
fun.
the
It's
production
very light.
itself is terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Did
this
you want
is
to talk about this?
Yeah, so this is a redo
Hold that up to
and a
the
further
cameras.
development of
We're gonna
One Night
unwrap it
Ultimate
right
Werewolf. One Night Werewolf from only has 8 rolls.
Oh, okay.
Akihisa.
Akihisa Okui?
Okui.
Okui?
Okui. Akihisa Okui.
That's right.
That's right,
I
you were-
Travis
I know, right?
lived in Japan.
Right, he would know how to say that stuff.
Hopefully I got that right.
So it had fewer rolls. So Ted added more rolls.
He added more Ultimate Werewolf stuff, and then
Well,
did
these are
his
just
rolls.
cards too, right?
It's the same thing. It's 8 little teeny 8-bit werewolves, and then I think those are the rules. Probably the German rules.
Was ist Werewolf?
I like these tokens. We didn't really use them that much, but it was nice
it's
having
helped
them.
to track. So here's the rolls.
Ooh, they're teeny
Clear all this stuff on here.
With little.
Oh, I see what you mean by 8-bit. That's neat.
Yeah, that's cute.
Sorcerer, werewolf, villager, man side. Oh,
Camera's
village side versus the werewolf side.
Wolf side, man side.
It gives you the group
Yeah.
side. So it's not
Phantom
even
Thief.
Phantom Thief. Oh, that must be one of the switchers
It needs like that.
and the sorcerer.
The app for this would have like that kind of old school like Casio tone
Yeah,
music.
it's
Yeah.
Minecraft.
What would be the death sound?
Yeah, so it's neat. They actually it's a fun game, and Ted made it like a deeper set of with the rolls. I mean,
Right.
I obviously haven't played this one. We just opened it, but
So how did that work out? Did he approach the guy and say, "I want to
wanted
use
to
this"?
yep
and turn
wanted to do it
into
again. He was
a-
very excited about it, and
Okay.
it came out at Essen, the English version of this one, and Ted's came out at Essen, and Ted's really going to be coming out at BGCon. But yeah, so it's cool. I mean, I love that he actually further developed the game and gave it more depth.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. So
What?
I assume this is the seer.
Well, I mean, look.
Well, yeah.
Jasper?
And I assume
This is a swapper.
this is probably either the robber or the probably the robber, right? And that's it. Like
Yeah.
you don't have any of the other roles. See, here's what's interesting. So
So it's a found. Thief can exchange his card for another player's one.
So that's the robber.
If he wishes. Sorcerer can do two actions. See one player's card
look
or
at
two cards which are not owned.
okay, so
it's-
seer and robber.
Yeah.
So the troublemaker, not in this version.
Right.
And the troublemaker is a good card.
Yeah.
It's a good roll. I would think.
I don't know.
I like that.
I like-
It changes things up.
It causes chaos. It's more chaos, right?
Again, and this is a surprising
robber-
thing. I'm surprising myself by
Yeah.
saying this, but one of the things that I don't like about Party Game Werewolf is that I don't like the special rolls. And when I moderate Werewolf, I almost always throw them all out.
Right.
And my Werewolf games is usually all villagers, werewolves, and
And a seer.
and that's it.
Right. That's mafia.
Which is the vanilla version of Werewolf.
Yeah.
Right, but
Before all this
I'm
crazy.
saying I don't like the crazy rolls in Werewolf, but I actually think they're better here.
Yeah.
Like this game,
Well,
because without them, you need the chaos, you need the doubt in the game to give the game in a weird way depth.
Right. Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, there's
Yeah. Because the first round.
You have because it gives you
Our-
something to go on.
Yeah. Our first game was lacking that.
Right.
Right. And so it's just you're dead.
Right.
And it was just like, okay, well, that was interesting. So the last game, though, had that depth because of the chaos of it. So, but that's the thing, is the troublemaker is just going to swap some stuff.
Right.
They're not going to have any new knowledge. The roles that add a little bit of knowledge make it very powerful, like the robber knowing.
But the troublemaker does have some knowledge. The troublemaker knows that two people are different now, and the troublemaker doesn't have to say that.
Right.
You can. The troublemaker can just be quiet and say, "Well, there was no troublemaker."
Right. That's true. Yeah, it'd be interesting to play it again. I also think it would be better with 6. 6 to 8 would probably be.
But, and again, this is potentially genius here, right? We just played Werewolf of 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Got pretty close to the Werewolf experience.
Yeah.
Though not the sort of
Yeah.
whole true party
In
game
a
experience.
in a 5 to 10 minute time period.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
You should play, if you like this, you should play the Inquisition game at some point. 'cause
Okay.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great
Yeah, it's
too.
really
They're
neat.
really good. It's neat. It's really exciting that there's this. I mean, because we've said it every time we talked in depth more about stuff after Masquerade, and then this one came out and it was like, oh, we need to do this one too. But there's this whole bunch of these types of games that are all really slick. We played Avalon, which is
Bluffing.
the
They're all just
Resistance, a new
bluffing
version. Yeah,
games.
it's another neat game.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually play Coup, but they played Coup, and that was neat.
That's also
Yeah.
Going to be a Resistance game now too, right?
Yes, I thought it was going to come out at Essen, but I guess it didn't. I don't know. And then, so yeah, it'll be Resistance themed.
And even though it's sort of lumped into this category, I don't feel it's quite the same. But sort of Love Letter sort of falls into that category.
Yeah, sure.
Not quite the same.
A little bit, but it's a bluffing game in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it isn't in that. I'm not saying there isn't some aspect to that. That's more of like a streamlined, fast-paced deduction game than it is a bluffing game. But it still has that same thing to it.
Right.
It's neat. You're right. It's neat that these games have seemed to come along.
A lot of them, and there's more. I mean, the sad thing is I'm like, we're going to have 5 episodes, I think, that are all going to come out at the same time covering these games, and there's more.
Yeah.
I mean, we were at Essen, there were more extremely interesting ones, and it's like, wow, it's never ending. So, I mean, we're at where we're at on this, but I really like it. I think they did a great job, and Ted is very, very excited about it. So
cool,
and rightly so. It's a neat game.
And as I said this before, the production of it is great.
Well, just the cards themselves. I mean,
the
like
cards
I said,
are great.
This is this was a Kickstarter add-on.
Oh, okay.
And I think you can still buy it, but he had it just ended. So this is give people an idea when it ran for just like 4 days or 3 days.
Oh wow.
So it was a very quick Kickstarter because he was going to get it ready to deliver it.
Quieter on the table?
Quieter on the table.
Yeah, but not everybody has this table, right?
Right. But I mean, like...
If your table was...
Plastic,
didn't have a cloth top to it.
But it's like...
If it was wood, I mean...
But see, here's the thing. You were probably straining to hear the noises.
Probably not. It just happened, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things okay.
I'm not like this.
Listening carefully.
Yeah.
Whatever, cheater.
Okay, well, cool, Dave. Thanks for teaching us the game.
You are welcome.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay. Werewolf lady.
Werewolf lady.
Yes.
That was awesome. You totally snickered me.